that we were going to become the greatest little country in the world. You know, we're not going to become the greatest little country in the world by being dependent. So, yeah.
And again, by accepting the Bahamian honor, you're showing them, follow me by example. I'm not just saying it. I'm living up to it.
Right. Absolutely. I was there when we were all there when he accepted that honor. It was so nice to see him be able to collect that honor, you know?
As we observe the 34th anniversary of our independence, I'm delighted to greet all our citizens, and indeed all others who share with us in the growth and development of this sovereign nation. Our national aspirations are encapsulated in the words of our national motto, forward, upward, onward together. This motto must never be seen as mere words without meaning, for they're meant to serve as the guiding principles towards which we must forever strive.
Feel the temperature rise, souls intensify. It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. The world as we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing. But hope is remaining. And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. Caribbean Sea.
Dépendons tous, notre planète Terre. Je n'ai pas imaginé un jour un monde sans vie. We're never losing, as long as we're moving
towards a better future. It belongs to you and me.
Let's be persistent,
we'll be resilient.
We're all in this together, even if we are apart. Y todos sabemos que todo lo que hacemos. We're all in this together, afecta nuestro mundo. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we strive. Take care, the world where we live permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para cortar la humanidad. And I must leave no one behind because we are, because we are. never have more wonder. Yeah, with life and all, you see now everything's changing.
But hope is remaining.
Esperando. And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. Yeah. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we start. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. Andamos leave no one behind because we are. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we start. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. Andamos leave no one behind because we are. One climate, one Caribbean. Giving up the fight. One climate, one Caribbean.
Ordinary People is back with a new season. Join us on the ZNS Network.
Everybody drugs the most. Not New York's bestsellers, the hood's bestseller.
I like that. Coming soon.
People are only going to say yes or no. And if they say no, keep on trying until you get a yes.
Ordinary People.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Equinor confirming that those employees sent home yesterday were not laid off. Plus, a stabbing incident occurring on a local school campus late this afternoon. And the Grand Bahama Port Authority is renaming streets in the city. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Simone Davis. Thank you so much for watching. Topping news tonight, Equinor South Riding Point confirming tonight that there are no layoffs at the oil storage terminal in East Grand Bahama. The leadership team at the company issuing a brief press statement noting that 30 employees have been asked to stay home until the end of January and that their compensation remains current. The company has been on the market for sale for a few years now, and according to the statement, the decision is related to a transition process that is ongoing. On Wednesday, we reported that employees received a notice stating that due to a delay in closing, Equinor made the decision to close the office and safely shut down operations till the end of the month. Now, the brief statement notes that Equinor will continue to provide updates. Meantime, the Department of Environmental Health issuing a statement today refuting claims made by a television station out of the nation's capital. The news station reporting last night that the Equinor South Riding Point terminal was the scene of another oil spill. The statement issued by environmental health officials says the story is erroneous at best and indicates the lack of evidence. They say the facts are as follows. The pond in question, Pond 3, is a pond of waste oils situated in the property of Equinor, referred to as on-site, and is under active remediation. An environmental specialty group is contracted by Equinor to carry out this remediation activity, which will result in full termination of all waste oils situated in the pond. Equinor South Riding Point submitted a plan dated September 28, 2021, entitled Remediation Plan for Pond 3 Oil Remediation. The plan was approved by DEHS, the agency with regulatory oversight, on November 1st, 2021, following complete review and consultation. Several site visits were subsequently made to the facility by DEHS regulators from the date of approval leading into the year 2022. There are no canals connected to the pond, and there is no seepage or discharge of fuel oils into the surrounding ocean. The Department of Environmental Health commits to continue to regulate the Equinor facility and says their approvals, rejections, and overall decisions will continue to be based on science and proper and thorough research. Meanwhile, police are investigating an alleged stabbing incident at a school campus today. Reports say a teacher was allegedly stabbed by a high school student on the campus of St. Paul's Methodist College. We understand that the incident took place at around 4:15 this afternoon. While school officials remain mute about the details, we also understand that the teacher was transported to the Rand Memorial Hospital for treatment, and the student was taken into police custody. In other news, the Grand Bahama Port Authority appears to be making a serious effort to clean up the city of Freeport. Some 30 dilapidated buildings have been torn down over the past 6 years, but the port seems to be taking a more aggressive approach this year and has commenced phase 1 of a demolition exercise. One of the oldest apartment complexes in Freeport is in the process of being taken down. Our Jolanda Thompson Everest speaking with the Building and Development Department on how this project works.
Freeport Garden Resort, formerly known as Windsor on the Mall, has been in a dilapidated state since 2016 after the passing of Hurricane Matthew. Since then, the condition of the building has worsened, becoming a major eyesore in the heart of the Freeport city. The Grand Bahama Port Authority working to address this issue, making this property one of the first to be demolished in a series of demolition exercises. This particular property falling into a state of disrepair and deemed structurally unsound. With the use of an excavator and other heavy-duty equipment, demolition should be completed by next week. The southern building was demolished last Friday, and now the northern building is currently being torn down. Head Port Executive Renato Carayoru giving inside details.
Independent structural engineers take a look at the building, and demolition was seen as the only viable course of action.
But the Port Authority doesn't plan to stop there. The assistant manager says other buildings that have been condemned will be taken down once in agreement with the Freeport City bylaws.
There's a building on the Queens Highway area and some within residential communities that we will be targeting for demolition.
Committed to ridding the city of dilapidated and decaying buildings and vehicles, this exercise can be viewed as an effort to restore the image of the city. The demolition has affected squatters, leaving them with the responsibility of finding a new place of shelter.
4 male occupants of this building, they were unpermitted to live there. However, they fell upon hard times and had no other alternatives. And I would like to speak to our partnership with government agencies. Department of Environmental Health ensured that the site was free of any health and safety concerns. The Royal Bahamas Police Force ensured that the building was safe and secure and made sure that none of the occupants were in harm. And Ministry of Grand Bahama assisted with the relocation of some of the occupants of the building. The others chose to live with family or friends.
Some businesses in the past that have been demolished are Rolls Furniture, Silver Sands Hotel, and Pioneers Professional Plaza. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson Everest.
Also from the Grand Bahama Port Authority tonight, officials there are aiming to memorialize and preserve the legacy of the nation's trailblazers by way of a new street renaming project. The initiative that was rolled out yesterday comes as the country embarks on its road to 50 and serves as the first step in celebrating the milestone. Our Raven Davis tells us the public will be instrumental in the process.
Many Grand Bahama residents are fully embracing the Grand Bahama Port Authority street renaming initiative that was launched on Wednesday. The initiative, branded Icons of the City, has already garnered some 600 votes. That, according to President Ian Roll. As the country journeys towards its 50th anniversary independence celebrations, he says this project is just one of several ways GBPA will be celebrating.
The whole idea behind this was, how do we create an impact, a greater impact locally? And this actually is a part of our vision that we laid out a few years ago, the renaming of streets to honor local icons. There's a steering committee that was formed internally, and the idea was for us to focus on names that are not polarizing. I think it brings hope and also joy when you see persons who've contributed so much of their life being recognized.
The names coming out of those meetings are Dr. Cecil Thompson, Anita Doherty, and Gladstone Moon McPhee, all of whom Roll says are deserving in their respective ways.
All three of them are fantastic people, first of all, great human beings. That's number one. Number two, we have Mr. Cecil Thompson, who's an awesome family man. He's fantastic. He's also involved in a lot of ministry events, very involved in community activities, and so is Moon McPhee, and so was Anita Doherty, who has now passed away. She was very much involved in sports development in Grand Bahama.
The exercise is being carried out by a means of a relatively simple polling process, and residents can expect it to happen at least 2 times this year. Roll explains the process, but fell short of revealing which streets will be renamed, thus preserving the element of surprise.
We will have ads put out in the various papers, online ads as well. You will probably be able to also do this at the Grand Bahama Port Authority building when you come to pay bills. You'll see a QR code on some of the ads. In some of the emails that you would have received, you'll see a link where you can select that link, and then the survey automatically pops up, and you get to choose 2 names.
Now, the GBPA president expressing delight about honoring and preserving the legacy of this island's trailblazers and encourages the public to participate. The polls will remain open for the next 2 weeks. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, we got a chance to hear from some Grand Bahama residents who are expressing delight about this new street naming initiative, adding that they intend to throw their full support behind the project.
My input is that every street in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, whether it's from Grand Bahama to Inagua, should be named after a Bahamian because this is the Bahamas.
I think it's a wonderful idea. I think they can make us as Bahamians feel more part of the community, part of our land.
I feel it's a good idea. It's something that's deserving of persons who can put back in this community.
I mean, if your grandchildren growing up or you pass across with their grandchild, you could say, when they say Cecil, well, you could explain them who he was and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So it's a nice thing.
Now, of the 3 names selected for this initial exercise, some residents taking the opportunity to vocalize who they believe is deserving of the win, though admitting that all of the names were good choices.
Recommend Moon McPhee have some recognition because I know when my kids were going to school, my son especially, he was one that was able to help him with basketball.
And I would choose Moon McPhee. He has done quite a bit of sports and so forth, and I like him. He's a nice person.
I feel like all of them are influential in a lot of our Bahamian lives.
I had known Moon over the years. He was a nation builder to the youth in sports. And as much as I could say about him, I wish to see more people come up and be like him.
They are good candidates because they are very well known and they are Bahamians.
Well, it is a major celebration as the countdown continues to the 50th anniversary of independence on July 10th, 2023. Well, this evening, all eyes are focused on the Bahamas as the unveiling of the 50th Independence logo and theme watch party takes place in New Providence. A similar event is slated for Grand Bahama. In fact, it all goes down on the lawn of the Harold de Gregory building at 6:30 p.m. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, other government officials and invited guests will be in attendance. Our Jay Philippe is on location and he tells us what Grand Bahama residents can expect tonight. Jay?
Yes, Simone, it is certainly a proud time to be a Bahamian as we celebrate 50 years as an independent country, 50 years as an independent nation, dating back from 1973, July 10th, to now, 2023. And I'm joined by Yolanda Hanna. She's one of the committee members for the Grand Bahama Independence Committee. What can Grand Bahamians expect tonight?
Oh, Jay, tonight we're so excited. We're hosting a watch party for the official launch of the 50th Independence theme and logo. You know, we've been talking about the road to 50 since last year. I mean, just in anticipation for 2023 when the Bahamas is celebrating its 50th year of independence. And so tonight, the National Independence Secretariat in Nassau, they are hosting a watch party for the official unveiling of the theme and the logo for this year. As a matter of fact, they're hosting a big event. And so right here at the Ministry for Grand Bahama, we're inviting the Grand Bahama public to come on down because we are joining in the celebration. We are watching the event virtually. So we got the big screen up, we got music, we have authentic Bahamian treats, we got hot teas, we have Gombe Punch and Champagne Punch, courtesy of Coca-Cola, one of our sponsors of tonight's event. And you know what? We just want everyone to come on down, celebrate being Bahamian because we are turning 50 this year, and that is a big, historic landmark event.
And I understand tonight's celebration is simultaneously around other islands throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
That's right. Over 20 districts throughout the Bahamas. All are hosting watch parties. Everybody is tuning in virtually to watch the live event in Rawson Square because we want to be a part of this. Listen, when I say proud to be Bahamian, this is the time to be Bahamian. So we want you to come on down. We want you to celebrate your Bahamian culture. We want you to celebrate, you know, the pride of the nation right now because we're turning 50. You know what I mean? And I don't know if people understand that. We are a small nation, but listen to me, we pack a mighty punch. And so 50 years, that is the time to celebrate. And
like I always say, 50 is a big deal, a huge deal. After tonight, what can we expect moving forward, leading up to July 10th, 2023?
Well, you know, the Grand Bahama Independence Committee has been mandated by the National Independence Secretariat to host an event every month on the road to 50. And so tonight, it is the unveiling of the official logo and the theme. And then every month moving forward, we will be hosting events right here on Grand Bahama. And for those of you who cannot join us tonight, you can watch the live stream on the Ministry for Grand Bahama's Facebook page. The link will be made available at 7 p.m. because that's when the event begins in Rawson Square in Nassau.
Yolanda, you guys have a busy year, sounds like. Simone will be downstairs waiting on you. It's still 6 o'clock. We still have more time. We'll be waiting on you for you to join us down here as we celebrate 50 years as an independent country, 50 years as an independent nation. Back to you in studio, Simone.
Great job, Jay, and thank you so much. I will be there as soon as I get off this desk. Now, the historic ceremony in the nation's capital will be carried live at 6:30 tonight, right here on ZNS TV, channel 211. And when we come back, a big player in the industrial sector smiling on the Grand Bahama Children's Home. The details of that story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
And see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Pizza Hut Freeport has a super delicious super deal. Now you can order 2 medium one-topping pizzas for just $19.10, VAT inclusive. Choose your pairs with any one topping and crust, pan or thin, and satisfy everyone. Excite your taste buds with Pizza Hut's 2 medium pizzas super deal. And save. Available for carry-out, curbside, pickup, and delivery at Pizza Hut downtown. 352-9191.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661.
Welcome to Kalina General Insurance Agents and Brokers, where we protect your dreams. Here at Kalina General, we offer you all areas of business insurance. We are here to protect your home, your vehicle, your business, liability products, bond products, marine products. We service you with every area that you would need that pertains to insurance. One of the most requested items that we sell as a part of our portfolio is the bonds. Now, the bond is a very pivotal feature that is offered by the Grand Bahama Port Authority to its licensees. We've just launched a new insurer, which is called Indigo, and we have a great feature that is attached to that. You just need to have your license for a year, and anyone between the age of 25 to 75 can drive your vehicle with your permission. So come in, seek insurance, seek coverage so that there is a peace of mind. Should something happen, you know that you will not be disadvantaged or you would not be set back as a result of not having adequate insurance or being properly insured. We can be reached at 351-9300 or 351-9339 or 351-4057.
Athletes across the northern Bahamas inspire us with their performances on and off the field. ZNS is proud to honor these competitors with our Athlete of the Month award. We will select an athlete whose story and accomplishments represents the best in their sporting discipline. Tune in to find out who will be the Athlete of the Month. Will an athlete be you?
Athlete of the Month is brought to you by Buddy Buckets. Buddy Buckets, you call the shots. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A local industrial company lending a huge helping hand to the Grand Bahama Children's Home. Thanks to the generosity of Bahama Rock, the local care center's pantry is now fully stocked. Our Shane Stubbs was there and filed this report.
It was certainly a day that left the Grand Bahama Children's Home Executive Director June Hutchison speechless. With knowledge that the home shelves were completely bare, Bahama Rock sprung to action and stocked the home's pantry near the brim. It all started with Hutchison receiving a call from Bahama Rock, and she was then given a list of items that would be purchased. The team's shopping spree took place at Cartwright, and to the director's surprise, that big void was filled.
I did start to well up because it means so much to be able to have that. It will cut down our costs. It will make the choices for children so much better. Bahama Rock has come and they've had an activity day with the kids, and they came back and they sat and said, what else do you need? Let's talk about some of the needs for the kids. It wasn't able to happen at the end of the year, but look at nothing before its time. We've had the storage facility here for quite a while, but not able to fill it. And so they've come and put everything that is possible.
Given the nature of the day-to-day operations and the potential of children entering the home, a donation like this is something she hopes becomes a trend.
Depending on what's happening, social services can bring children at any point in time. And then we have to be able to feed and take care of them. So having this, we always need that surplus of food to be able to make sure that our children are eating properly and they're cared for. So not only did they bring food items, but they also bought toiletries and anything possible for a home to be able to run effectively was done by that. So we're just hoping that they want to set the pace.
And sparing no expense, Administrative Assistant Edrika Martinborough and Operator Sanadia Smith say it was the company's goal not to only leave a smile, but to leave a mark.
We definitely wanted to give them something or give them items that they would need. Not that we assume that they would need, but that children can actually enjoy. We would like to, continue to take this initiative not just with the Children's Home, but with other organizations.
I think it would actually put smiles and joy on the kids' faces. And I believe that, not only that with them coming here looking at the physical items, but the feeling that they would get that somebody still cares about them, that they still matter.
Now, while this is a big-time donation, this is also known as a head start. With 24 children currently in the home, there is still hope for more donations to come. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks, Shane. Your check on sports is next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. You have high school basketball updates from the island of Bimini and also Abaco. But let's begin with primary school basketball over at St. George's Gymnasium. It's the semi-finals of primary school basketball. Winner advances to the championship. The loser goes home packing. The first game of the afternoon was the neighborhood schools in Walter Parker going up against Freeport Primary. In what was expected to be a tight contest, Walter Parker had its own plans as they pulled away to take this one 22-16 in regulation. Perhaps the player of the year, Kayvon Russell led the Pacers once again.
I felt we did pretty well. We executed our game plan really well. The goal is just always to play hard and give it everything we got. Right now, we just focusing on the defensive end, making sure we in the gaps, making sure we in the help side and getting steals and making sure that we completing our layups. And once we do that, I think we'll win the game.
The second semifinal of the day was between Bartlett Hill Primary, who brought out the entire teaching staff, against Maurice Moore Primary, who brought out their own fan base. Once the ball was in the air, Maurice Moore jumped out early to take the lead. The second half was intense as Coach Shaky tried to rally his troops, but it was all Maurice Moore that cruised to victory 24-10 to set up a championship matchup against Walter Parker on Monday.
These guys can run, so I'm playing them at their advantage. Pressure the ball, steal layup. That's all it is. It's not about them. It's about what we do. And if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll be all right. And you can see from the score, we was all right.
Sticking with basketball over on the island of Bimini, in junior boys play, the Eagles defeated Louise McDonald Marlins 27-9, led by Gilbert Roll Jr. and Stephen Sweeting with 7 points. In junior girls action, the Eagles won against the Marlins 24-15. Nevaeh Sanders led Gateway with 7 points. And in senior boys play, the Marlins edged out the Eagles 62-60 in a high-scoring affair. Jasmine Rock had 25 points in the win. Sherrick Ellis scored 22 in the loss for the Eagles. Now over in Abaco, Agape won against Forest Heights 65-47. Javontre Orby led all scorers with 17 points. In the second game, Alpha Institute got the W versus Every Child Count 62-34. Mason Casimir was the high point scorer with 21 points. And finally, in sports scores from the Grand Bahama Basketball Association, 8 Mile Rock Legends defeated House of Hoops 68-58. Antoine Bevins led the Legends with 13 points in the win, while Latrez McIntosh tallied 14 points for House of Hoops. In Game 2, Jim Rats escaped with a 61-57 victory over Showtime. Trevor Bain led all scorers with 32 points for Jim Rats. Malik Smith added 15 in the loss for Showtime. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Grand Bahama Stepping Out is now online. Visit their website. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Find them in Nassau at the top of the hill, Mackey Street. Call 394-7100 or WhatsApp 727-9098. Stepping Out.
2023 is almost here, but at Island Bedding, the deals are not done yet.
Selected king and queen bed up to 20% off. Accent benches up to 25% off. Accent chests up to 30% off. Selected king and queen bedroom set up to 20% off. Futons 20% off. Happy holidays from Island Bedding.
Welcome to the My Professor and More, where our focus is to provide the innovation and provide the guidelines for our talented students in a variety of subject matters, from primary school all the way to university level.
Because of the My Professor, my mathematical and public speaking skills have truly elevated.